Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Argos, Zenith, and Hansin here on Metalopolis. Let me check some technical issues first before I get into this game. Alright, everything is working very well as Argos Zenith starts off with a GG, hoping to play a good game here on Metalopolis. Argos Zenith spawning as the yellow Zerg player on the south side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Hansin spawning on the north side of the map as the purple Terran. So Terran versus Zerg here on Metalopolis. One of the matchups I wanted to cast and see from a Korean's perspective, especially after the recent 1.1.2 patch changes. You can see that the hatchery has 1500 hit points, so the roaches also have a range of 4. Corruptors do not have energy, and Thors do not have energy as well. We now see Argos Zenith moving out with an early drone in order to do some scouting, so it should be a pretty interesting matchup here as this drone already moving out and doing a cross spawn check. So this is going to be very interesting as this is going to be a cross spawn check. No, it's going to actually check over here instead, so it looks as though it's making it look like the drone came in from the north side. And just part of the mind game that Argos Zenith really likes to play. Hansin was part of the GSL Season 1. Argos Zenith, I believe, got eliminated in the round of 128 right before they started televising those matches. So we now see Overlords now making their way out across the map. With the production tab, you see pretty much standard play coming in from both sides. A barracks with the refinery. Barracks with refinery pretty much means that it is either just going to be Marauder play, probably not very much Reaper play anymore since the most recent changes to Reapers, or perhaps a 1-1-1 build against the Zerg player. So now we see one drone continuing to make its way into the map, just trying to get as much sight as possible. I can't read Korean, so can't tell you what that says. As this one drone just continues to make its way, perhaps going to start doing some mining, trying to deny some of these SCVs from being able to mine all too quickly, and now a drone trying to deal some damage here. So able to get off a couple quick pecks there, and now trying to pull back once again as this drone just continues to come in and tries to deal more and more damage. It may actually get an SCV kill, which would be a very big surprise. And if it does get an SCV kill, almost getting it down to 5 hit points there, and now trying to pull back. So this one SCV running for its mechanical life does have a little bit of gas in hand, and now down it goes. So one hero drone coming in for Daisy, and now going to grow up to be an extractor. Very nicely done by Argos. So Argos now going to deny any additional refineries for quite some time. He will be able to cancel this extractor and put it back up a number of times. We do see a factory now being laid down, and we also have a fast hatchery coming in from the Zerg player. So Argos Zenith getting the hatchery before getting the spawning pool. This has been a much more common strategy now that Terran players are unable to Reaper rush into a Zerg player. So this is one of those issues as well, as this extractor continuing to grow up and be canceled. No additional Marines being trained up just quite yet. We do see one reactor being placed down by this barracks, so we may have a swap of a factory, or we may go for a starport into double training Vikings. Not quite sure yet. As this game continues, we do have one Overlord now trying to perhaps hide itself in the back of the base. Argos Zenith very much well known for his Nidus play and just trying to get into the mental game of his opponents. So with those Nidus worms, he is able to just cause a Zerg player to swarm in from a number of sides. And now we see Hansin going for a command center. So an early command center coming in from Hansin will allow him to get an economic advantage just as well. We are double training Hellions as well. So it looks as though double training Hellions really wants to try to come out and put a harassment down on the Argos Zenith's location here. We do see a Roach Warren already come into play, and now one Spine Crawler. Roaches now have a range of 4 instead of that range of 3 like they did before prior to this patch. So Hellions will not be able to kite Roaches nearly as well. As 2 Hellions quickly take down one Zergling there, down it goes, and now 2 Hellions quickly running across the map in order to try to torch some of these drones down here. We do see a Creep Tumor now being laid down as well. A Queen now making its way onto the ramp, ensuring that those Hellions have a difficult time trying to squeeze by that position, as that Creep Tumor now spreading creep across the map. We do see this Hellion coming in here, and the Hellion may be able to come into this position here perhaps and try to take down some of these drones. Yeah, trying to torch that drone there. One Queen coming in, trying to get a couple quick slashes, and now this Queen just trying to deal as much damage as possible. Those Hellions have a range of 5 compared to the range of 3 on the Queen. So the Queen will not be able to do all too much. However, 4 Hellions will be soon pressuring on the front door of Argos Zenith. So one queen still sitting here trying to get back in position, trying to make sure that no Hellions are able to drive by and run up this ramp. We do see a tech to tier 2 and a Roach Warren down. So with that Roach Warren down, 2 queens in position, 1 Roach already down, and the economic lead for Argos Zenith should be very significant. However, yeah, no, Argos Zenith sitting on 34 Harvesters compared to 25. Hansin needs to lift off this command center or orbital command in just a moment and then position it here. He does have double mules being called down in order to try to mine out this location faster. However, all it will really do is deplete these minerals much more quickly, and he will quickly find himself having to try to expand out across the map. This is a cross spawn, so Hansin will be able to take this particular mineral patch without any real issue unless we see a change in play. However, Hellions now into the base. Hellions getting one drone kill after another, trying to put a little bit of pressure here. So now these Hellions, however, stuck in the back here, unable to really drive anywhere else as these queens able to just pressure up, and down they go. Taking a look once again at the Harvester count. The Harvester count hasn't changed nearly all that much. So 37 Harvesters compared to 29. Those Hellions were able to get in the base. However, not that much damage was really dealt. Taking a look at the production tab, we do see the metabolic boost now being researched, another reactor being placed down. So it looks as though we are going to have mass Marines, Marauders trying to push out. I'm surprised that the starport does not have a reactor as well. The reactor on a starport does allow for training of double medevacs, which is a good complement to this army. We do see one Overlord now spawning creep in the air, and this orbital command will be hovering for quite some time as that creep proceeds. We do see Hansin now establishing proper defenses at this particular location here, and as Hansin waits for the creep to recede, he will be able to land it in just a moment. However, Argos Zenith doing a good job staying on top of macro and staying on top of the economic game, now going for a third base. So we see a hatchery being built at the 4.5 position. Meanwhile, a Spire and a Baneling Nest also being placed down and continuing to power drone. So Argos Zenith continuing to power drone. Meanwhile, Hansin going more for a tech route, getting stim pack and those concussive shells. So it does look like it will be MMM. Roaches trying to fight back, able to get off a couple of quick kills on those Marines. However, not enough. 2 Roaches running into the army of Marauders and Marines down here on the low ground. Army-wise, Hansin is much stronger at 1,000 mineral army versus a 300 mineral army, and now with that Spire nearing completion, we need to get more and more units trained up in a hurry. We do see 1 creep, 2 more down over here. Will we get scanner sweeps to try to deny all of this creep in the center of the map? Hansin already knows that he's being revealed by these units, and now perhaps going to try to push out. We do see a lot of Roaches coming in from this position as well, as both sides try to macro up a very, very strong and large army. So in comes these position here. Zerglings trying to run around, unable to get any positioning as these Marauders and Marines moving very, very quickly at 3.37 and able to just continuing to shoot down more and more of these units, and now trying to fight back even further. However, more Marauders now coming in as well. All of these Roaches trying to push back. The Roaches only do not have that movement speed upgrade just quite yet, as Zerglings now going to go ahead and surround and swarm more and more of these units here. Marines able to just use stim, and with that 1 medevac in the air and taking a lot of damage though. So all these units are now in the red, and with only 1 medevac, that energy will quickly run out in just a moment. So that medevac very low on energy. A lot of these units very, very low on hit points, as well as more Zerglings able to swarm. These Marines getting caught out of position here, trying to run away from those Zerglings. However, Zerglings are faster even than stimmed Marines, and all of these units by Hansin will be forced to pull back. So Argos Zenith doing a good job trying to pull back with that army, or trying to hold off this attack with this army so far, as more Marines continue to be dropped down and now healed back up. Taking a look, we do see the combat shield currently being researched, but I'm surprised that we do not have any level 1 weapons upgrade on these infantry units. We do see a missile turret currently being placed down in addition to an engineering bay. So it looks like Hansin's going for double engineering bays. No, how does he have a missile turret? Or yeah, he has 1 engineering bay here and a 2nd engineering bay here. So he may be trying to get 1-1 Marines and also getting that armory. So it looks as though, yes, he is going to be going for 1-1 Marines and getting an armory. So we may see some Thors coming out in just a moment as well. And there is a Spire currently up. I believe there was a Spire currently up. I saw it being trained. Yeah, there it is. But however, there is no Mutalisk currently in the air. We do see some Overlords now moving out across the map. And once again, a mass MMM army on the move. All these units are full on health and will be able to come in and deal a lot of damage once again. 2 medevacs in the air using using that scanner sweep in order to deny all of these creep tumors. However, we have banelings coming in from behind. So as these units try to pressure in, Zerglings from the front, banelings from behind, it's going to be a very, very bad fight here. And all of these marauders and marines are simply just falling to the wayside here, as these banelings are now finally off of creep and unable to catch up with those stim marauders. So nicely done once again by Argos Zenith. However, Hansin using great micro in order to deny any of those banelings from getting any real damage. However, now there are Mutalisks in the air, and those Mutalisks are going after those medevacs. Those key medevacs are move very, very slowly, only a 2.5 movement speed compared to, I believe, the 3.75 of a Mutalisk. Yeah, 3.75 of a Mutalisk. So those medevacs may get shot down in just a moment, down to, what, 52 hit points, and now continuing to give chase. There is no anti-air units here, and those Mutalisks being forced to pull back once again. So a lot of banelings and Zerglings running around, and now Hansin being very smart about the game, deciding to get additional missile turrets in order to stop any Mutalisk harassment. We do see, what, 5 Mutalisks currently sitting here, and now we also finally get an Overlord getting shooed away by one Marine, a Marine using that stim pack to try to shoot it down that Overlord. We do see, what, 5 Mutalisks sitting here, and also a couple Overlords just all around the map offering sight within the base. I'm surprised that I do not see a Nidus network, and then right as I think that, I see Argos Zenith now placing down that Nidus network in play, and also getting another hatchery. So Argos Zenith continuing to try to stay on top of the macro. Argos Zenith sitting on 46 harvesters. However, Hansin sitting on 59. So fully saturating 2 bases at this stage in the game as these Mutalisks continue to fly around the map. We do see a lot of Overlords being positioned well across the map, and now in comes 2 missile turrets gonna get, and 1 missile turret will get shot down, another missile turret will get another Mutalisk killed, however, and now we do see 1 medevac here, so that medevac will be dropping down on top of this hatchery over here and denying this expansion. However, the Mutalisk now going after a couple of these key buildings here, and he does not see this Nidus network. So the Nidus network, now Marines and Marauders trying to stim back, trying to get in position. Will these units be able to come pouring out is the key question. There's nothing in the Nidus worm just quite yet, so that Nidus worm will just simply get taken down here. However, Marines and Marauders now simply just stimming over here at the natural expansion at the 5 o'clock location on the high ground. Marines and Marauders just simply getting taken down by these Zerglings. So a very, very fast, very mobile army because of that creep and the movement upgrades, allowing for very, very fast defense. I'm surprised that Argos Zenith was still able to hold on to this expansion at the 3 o'clock location with that medevac in the air. We do see level 2 weapons upgrade and level 2 armor upgrade for the infantry units, and as both sides take a quick reprieve, there was 1 medevac here trying to come in, trying to deal some damage, and now these 4 Mutalisks should be able to just simply shoot down that medevac there, and down it goes. So losing 100 minerals and 100 gas there. So we now see a Nidus worm being placed over here, Zerglings being just swarmed into this position now, and it looks as though Argos Zenith is actually trying to micro to make sure that the Nidus network only has very, very strong, healthy Zerglings, all being positioned over here, and they will be running up that ramp in just a moment. We do see a planetary fortress, however. So that planetary fortress with an attack speed of 2 and slight splash damage will be able to one-shot Zerglings. These Zerglings only have 35 hit points, banelings only have 30, and on top of that, even with that 1 additional armor, will not be able to do all too much. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Argos Zenith and Hansin here on Metalopolis.